Hey guys, it's Dean. Welcome to Manflow Yoga. I'm about to show you a clip from my glute mobility and recovery workout, which is a workout I designed specifically for after leg day. So if you went sprinting the day before, you did deadlifts, you did some squats, this is the perfect recovery workout to help you speed up your recovery, to help you get back to doing what you enjoy quicker with less soreness, and also to help improve your overall strength capacity and mobility. To get the full workout, sign up for the Manflow Yoga members area. 7-day trial is just $1. All right, enjoy the workout. I'll see you at the end. Hey guys, it's Dean. Welcome to Manflow Yoga. Welcome to the members area. This workout is a glute mobility workout. So we're going to focus on using a lacrosse ball or using a KnotOut to help to release muscle knots in your hips, particularly in your glutes. So we're going to focus on the medial glute, or the glute med, which is right here where I'm moving the ball right now. And we're also going to focus on the glute max, so right here, basically the whole back side of your hip. And then we're also going to wrap around toward the front and get what's called the tensor fascia lata, which is right here, which kind of winds from the outer hip toward, from here, from the outer hip up toward the front of your hip here. So we're going to work on all of this area, and then we're going to do some stretching for that. So this is going to help with relieving any back tension caused by hip tightness. It will also help with improving hip mobility. It will also help with reducing hip soreness and helping you get back to your workout. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with the lacrosse ball. I just choose the lacrosse ball for this specific position, but you're welcome to try it with a KnotOut or a tennis ball as well. And we're just going to rest on that glute med that I talked about. So again, right here, kind of on the outer hip. And you're going to turn sideways somewhat so you can really work into it. And your goal here is to put as much weight as you can into the hip. So you're not standing up, right? You're not using your feet to keep your hips away from the ground, but you have to let your body sink into it. And that might be intense at first, but that's okay. Your body can definitely take it. So we're just slowly releasing our hip into toward the ground, right on top of that lacrosse ball or whatever you're using. I like the lacrosse ball here because it's a little more mobile, which is helpful. If you're doing something else that requires the mobility tool to stay more stable, then the KnotOut is more useful. But right now, when I want to be mobile with this, the KnotOut or the lacrosse ball is more useful. So again, I'm just kind of sinking onto it, and I even want to keep my face relaxed as I'm doing this. So I'm just working out that whole area, that whole outer hip. And your goal here is to find the angriest spot that you can and work into it. Of course, this is going to be accompanied by some grimacing and some deep exhalations. And now we're going to work toward that TFL that I talked about. So if you want, kind of coming from over here now toward the outside front of your hip and working on that thick muscle that assists your external hip rotators. So all the muscles that we're working on right now are your external hip rotators. They all help your glutes. Well, they are made up of your glutes as well, but they all help you, the back of your hips. They are the most powerful muscle in your hips. So again, working into that outer part of the hip now, just kind of going back and forth over it. And I don't want to violently go up and down like this on it. I'm just slowly rolling over it. So working into that area. All right. And you can keep going on that if you want. You can spend up to 5 minutes each leg. I'm going to move to the back of the hip now. So now I'm going to get the glute, and I'm just going to roll over all of that. So just basically sitting on top of it and rolling all the way from the bottom of my hip up to the top of my hip. And if you find that this is not really cutting it for you, I would bring in the max at this point, if you have the max, or just keep using the lacrosse ball. And then you can roll on that for your glute. And that will help you work a little bit, maybe work a little bit deeper into it. If you want, you can also cross your left leg over your right leg, and then you can work a little bit deeper into it. So that helps to expose a different part of your hip to the KnotOut. or to the mobility tool in question. And now you can work a little bit deeper into it. So this is all helping to relieve tension in your spine. When you have these muscles, when these muscles are locked up, when there's muscle knots, when they're tight, they pull on your lower back. So by releasing those muscle knots, we're making the muscle longer, adding some slack to that system, and then relieving that tension. All right, let's switch sides. So again, I'm going to go back to the lacrosse ball, and I'm going to go on the outside of my right hip now. So this whole area right here on the outer hip. So I'm going to just move on that, and again, just kind of let my body sink into it. And you might be tighter on one side than the other. All right, so your right leg might be more intense on your right leg, or your left leg, and that's fine, that's normal. So just releasing deep into it. And you can even get right around where the hip is. If you're using the lacrosse ball, it should be okay. If you're using the KnotOut, it should be fine. It could be a little uncomfortable if you're using something harder than that, but the lacrosse ball should be fine. You can also downgrade to a tennis ball if you want, if it's really sore and you're not quite ready for the lacrosse ball or the KnotOut, and those both work. So now again, still working into the side. Slowly releasing that weight of your body into the hip. Oh yeah, that's fun. And you can work from there if you want. You can work toward the TFL. Again, so that front of the hip. So kind of turning more to the outside so I can get the top front of the hip. And that's this muscle right here that connects from kind of the outside lower part of my hip and winds up to the top of my hip. Top outside of the hip. So again, same technique for all this. I'm just finding a spot, breathing deeply, exhaling, and releasing into it. All right. And if you're feeling like that's enough there, you can spend about 1 minute in each spot, maybe 2 minutes total in each spot. You don't want to spend much longer than that. Any longer than that, and you're just going to delay your, you're going to make it too intense on that one spot, and it will take your muscles out for a very long time. Not a few days. So we just want to do a little bit to the point where we're releasing a bit of that muscle tension and then helping jumpstart your recovery, and not getting to the point where we're completely breaking the muscle down and making it hard for you to get to your workout the next day. All right, so now we're going to get the glute max. So we've already gotten the glute med, we got the TFL, now we're getting the glute max. So that's just the whole back of the hip. And you can really get your whole butt cheek here, so all the way to the inside and then all the way to the outside, from the bottom of the hip all the way toward the lower back. So you can get that whole area and just rolling slowly on it, kind of releasing into it. And if you want, you can also cross the leg over here. Oh yeah. And that will help make this a little more intense if you want. Maybe it's already intense enough. Just keeping the face relaxed and breathing deeply. That's the key to doing this. So again, we can spend up to 5 minutes here if you want to. Ooh, that's a spot. Woo. All right. Then we're going to move out of that. Now let's start some stretching. So first thing we're going to do is go into a lizard. If you have a block, I'd recommend using a block, just because then you don't have to worry about rounding forward as much. So let's use a block. Bring your right leg up, bring your left knee back, pull your chest forward. You can even use 2 blocks if you want. So working on this left hip to open up, and then if you hug the left hip in toward the right, so if I squeeze my left leg in toward the middle, that's going to target the TFL a little bit. So I'm going to get that muscle that I worked out and the mobility. So the muscles that we're targeting now are all of those muscles that we worked when we were doing the mobility work on it. So we're going to be doing a lot of glute work in this stretching. All right, so the next one, I'm going to have you bring your right knee out to the right, like so, and open up the hip. So now we're getting the external hip rotator. So I'm getting my outer right hip. I'm getting the glute stretching. But I want to make sure that I'm opening up the hip and not opening up the knee here. So that's my focus. I don't want to feel any tension in the knee here at all. It should all be in the outer hip. I'm going to keep my toes reaching toward my shin to protect. Hope you enjoyed the glute mobility and recovery workout. Again, to get that full workout, sign up for the Manful Yoga members area. It's just $1 for a 7-day trial, and that gets you unlimited access to all of our workout programs, our workouts, tutorials, diet nutrition info, and much more. You can do that at manfulyoga.com/7-days. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like on Facebook, get on my email list at manfulyoga.com/sign-up for exclusive offers, savings, info on VIP list, and much more. And again, that's at manfulyoga.com/sign-up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.